Hey guys, welcome in to episode 2 of Franchise Masters. Myself, Sleeves, joined by my competitor, Thrash. We are going to give you guys an update on our Franchise Masters challenge that we've been streaming live on Twitch, how it's gone, what we're up to, and then we're going to do our next week's franchise. So if you guys have been playing along, thank you guys. I saw a lot of comments on YouTube as well as on Twitter about just trying it yourself, and it's a fun way to make NHL a little bit more interesting as the year goes along. I do need to make a correction. Apparently in the first video when we were setting up the franchise, I said salary cap off. I pinned a comment. Yeah, salary cap has to be on. A lot of people understood that, so that's my bad. But yeah, everything else basically, I guess the only real just kind of across the board things, you got to win in 5 years, and then if there's no challenge, it's like you just can't trade draft picks from a future year.
Yeah.
Which, dude, harder than it looks. Like, that makes it tough. That makes it tough. So we're going to update our first run. I used the Blue Jackets. That's who I spun. You got to use the Canucks, and our challenge was we couldn't trade our 3 highest overall players at the start of the franchise, which proved to be detrimental to me. But let's start with you, because you were successful. So talk a little bit about what happened, how many you won in, and some of the players you got.
So first of all, not having to trade away my top 3 ended up being great for me because the top 3 that I had were great players in JT Miller, Quinn Hughes, and Thatcher Demko. All 3 of them outstanding for my franchise. So that didn't really affect me too much, but I know for you that was tough.
Yep.
I got really lucky. I won in year number 3 after being eliminated in the first round in year 1, and then the second round in overtime game 7 in year 2, and that was a tough one because we came second in the entire league in points. I thought that was going to be like second year I was going to get it done, and then we lost in game 7, so that one hurt. Luckily, we made some trades. I picked up Moritz Seider from the Red Wings for OEL. Now think about that. OEL and a first for Moritz Seider.
Yeah.
In real life, bro, maybe I am Steve Eisman because that should never happen. But hey, whatever. Yeah. I'm going to take it. So I got Moritz Seider. I ended up signing Claude Giroux. And in our final year, we traded for Joe Pavelski at the trade deadline, who ended up being a +5 match with JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. So that line got it done. And at the end of the franchise, I didn't really do too many moves. A lot of them were very small additions, like trading away Tyler Myers, and I ended up signing. I traded Tyler Myers to get Matthias Ekholm. Ekholm ended up being a flop for the team, so I traded him away and got Cal Foote. Okay. Like Cal Foote of all players, and he ended up being a huge addition to the playoff run. So the small moves seem to be more important than the big ones for me.
Let me ask you this, because maybe we should talk a little bit more like tips for franchise. So when you were simming, what do you find to be, do you find that like the chemistry system is super important or not at all?
I'm 99% sure, and this could totally just be a
placebo, like it's in your head.
Yeah. I don't think chemistry matters. I really don't. Because I have tried it. Like in last year, I tried it and I won a cup with having all 0 chemistry. Like I purposely did that, and I simmed and won the cup. So I don't know if it's specifically for playing the game. I don't know if coaches actually matter. I don't know any of that. Specifically for me, I don't think it matters. But anything that can give me an advantage, I'm gonna go for.
Let me ask you this. When you did the sims in the playoffs, did you go advanced day, or did you like go into the screen where it shows the time and the ticker and the goal pop up?
I watched every single sim.
Okay, so you did like the slow sim the whole way?
Yes, okay. Every game, because the chat definitely was interested in watching them. I think there was one game that I missed and they yelled at me, so like I was not doing that again.
Normally I do that, and I was convinced because my Blue Jackets run did not go. So you got in 3, you scored a 3, which is pretty good in your third year. I did not win with the Blue Jackets, and we're talking about how what happened at the end, which is just devastating. But so I got a 6, so you are 3 points ahead of me right now. But so something as I was getting frustrated because you win the President's Trophy, get knocked out and swept in the first round. Happened to me, and I was watching every game, and I went to someone in my chat. Again, I just wish the EA would explain if these things actually matter, and you'll never either get the same answer or the right one. So they were like, when you go and watch those, overalls and chemistry doesn't matter, but when you do the advanced sim, it like matters. So I was like, okay, all right, and I seem to go much further when I just did advanced day. But I agree that on stream when you're doing it, I'm gonna do what you did because I think
it's more fun. Yeah, absolutely. Especially like if you do get into a game 7, then you can jump into overtime or something. Like you gotta watch it.
I agree. So My first couple years, I couldn't get out of the first round until year 3, which is frustrating. Made a couple different trades. I got Nico Hischier pretty early. I couldn't move Line, which ended up being okay, and I couldn't move Werenski, which is okay, but it was Voracek for like 8 milli. That proved to be, as I couldn't win, it became much more difficult because he was getting like 8 million in year 4, and he was like an 82 overall. And then I had to re-sign him, and veterans want like a stupid amount of money in this game.
Yeah.
Because they know it's like their last year, maybe. I don't know what it is. And because I have to keep the 3, I have to sign him. So, you know, I did not win. I made it to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, and I lost in year 5. Oh. So that was pretty tough. That was a pretty tough watch, and there was like 3 or 2 rounds in a row where I came back 3-1, so that was pretty sad.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is. I ended up with Jake Gensel, who I signed. Hischier I traded for. A player that I did trade for that had really good value was Edvinsson from the Red Wings.
All right.
Yeah, he was an easier get and was an 86 overall, so he shot up there pretty quickly. But, yeah, was not able to get it done with the Blue Jackets, so hoping for better luck with my next franchise that we are going to do. So, any takeaways at all?
I need to be smarter with my money. That's the first thing that I gotta...
Like you're talking about free agency?
Anything. Like, at the beginning of the year, it's like, hey, I want to try and win it in the first year. And I look at my roster, I'm like, it's not that great, but there's a chance. I need to be smarter with that. I need to... You know what? Maybe this isn't the year that we get it done. Don't sign this guy to a 4-year, $9 million contract. And maybe go with something a little bit cheaper for now and try and see free agency in the future. You know what I mean? Because I feel like I handcuffed myself in the first year by trying to go for it for the first year, whereas I probably could have made some smarter moves and maybe set myself up for year 2 instead.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because like in this, obviously trying to get a 1 is very important, but if you were trying to do it with like the Sabres, it's like you're more than likely not going to win in the first year, so do you try and get right in Bedard? But the problem with Bedard is you're already into year 3. So if you want to get Bedard, you're punting 2 years to try and get him. So that is definitely something that is going to be interesting as this goes along. So let's, with that being said, let's get to the wheel spin this week and find out who we are going with. We'll start with you. We'll find out what team you are going to use. Obviously, the Canucks is off the limits here, so we'll remove the Canucks. And here we go. So week 2, Thrash's team, and we will spin our challenge one after this. He is going to be using... See here. Can you see?
I can see.
Okay, here we go. You are going to be using...
Give me Tampa Bay.
Sabres. Yeah! Let's go! Okay. Dude, if it's a you can't trade the top 3 highest rated, you're toast.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right,
boy.
San Jose Sharks, which sim very well. And if you're able to move everyone, I think it really depends on the challenge if you're using the Sharks, if it's going to be difficult or not.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay. So, all right. So the team that I will be playing with is, I would like the Leafs. I think they'll be easier to win with.
That'd be a good one. Yeah.
Nah, gross.
Oh, man, I don't know. That might not be that bad. Depends on the challenge. Again, it depends on the challenge. That might not be too bad.
I just hate the Kings. But I guess it's okay to get away with. Okay. All right, so the next one's on the table. So some Pacific Division rivals. We got the Sharks for Thrash, the Kings for me. And it's really going to come down to, let's see what's, what's our challenge is. So we have, again, to refresh everyone, we have no pick trades, meaning that we can include picks in our trades, which would be devastating. That one, especially if you have a team that isn't very good. The keep the worst contract, if we get that one, we will deem what one is the worst one on each team. Keep the top 3 overall, which was the one we did last time. Trade the highest value player. And then there is one for no challenge, so we'll see. So our challenge this week for the Sharks and Kings will be...
No challenge.
Nah, man, I want to keep top 3 overall.
Oh, no!
Let's go! Top 3 overall! Good luck! Good luck! All right, so...
Now,
Actually, let's see what the roster update, because
Timo Meyer's #1.
He's gotta be. So let's pull. I'm gonna pull this.
Thomas Hurdle's #2.
Hang on one second. Let's see. I'm gonna pull this up here. All right. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and find out what we're working with in our rosters. We'll start first with the Sharks. So he has to keep the top 3 overall players at the start of year 1, and if they run out of their contract, which most of the Sharks won't because they're signed for 8 years, he has to re-sign them. So we'll start with the Sharks. Highest overall is Timo Meier, which isn't bad. 24 years old, 88 overall, medium elite. Tomas Hertl, which isn't bad. And then you've got Brent Burns and Erik Karlsson and Logan Couture all at 86 overall, but Brent Burns is the highest one. So for this, you have to keep Brent Burns on your roster. So I guess you kind of made out there. I guess the worst one for the Sharks would be keep the worst contract.
Yeah, because you'd be stuck with... I mean, I would assume Karlsson would be the worst one out of there. Or Couture.
Vlasic, in my opinion. 5 years at $7 million.
5 years, $7 million, yeah.
And 81 overall. 81 overall. Yeah, So Brent Burns is probably going to be the one that'll be tough for you. This actually might be more difficult for the Kings, and we'll go take a look at the highest rated Kings. Anze Kopitar, that's fine as long as I can win quickly. Doughty at 88, again at 31 is not bad. And then we've got Adrian Kempe at 84. However, what do they rate? I'm scared about Jonathan Quick. He's an 83, thank God. Okay, Quick's getting right off my team.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So Adrian Kempe, Doughty, and Kopitar are the guys that I can't move. You've got Hertl, Meier, and Brent Burns. You can't trade, so we've got to re-sign them if we do if we do go long enough in there. So I'm not upset, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty all right.
Going to be interesting. Burns is going to be tough.
Yeah,
Burns is definitely somebody I'd like to remove right away. So
yeah, give me your first couple of moves you're gonna make.
Karlsson's gone right away. First thing I'm doing, Karlsson's gonna go. Vlasic's gonna go. I don't care if I get a 7th.
Yeah,
like I need the cap room. And then I'm gonna try and find a couple of centers for the team because your center depth is not looking too good.
No, fair enough. I think I'm gonna trade all of because like the thing about the Kings is they're a great rebuild. I think I'm going to go for it in year 1. I think I'm going to trade all of their high-rated prospects. Could blow up my face, but I'm going to try and go and win early because Kopitar, Doughty are still very high-rated. So I might be able to take advantage of that. But we will find out if you guys want to watch along. We're doing it on stream. Again, so twitch.tv/NoCities12, twitch.tv/Thrash94Gaming. On Twitch if you want to watch along his franchise masters runs. But guys, thank you again for watching, and Thrash, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
All right, I wish you the worst of luck. See ya.